Don't you remember me?
Huh?
The war, you saved my life.
Me?
Strange. And I always thought of you as an Aryan.
One Tier Nations disclaimer. Be aware that there may be content in this video that's not suitable for a young audience. I speak my mind and minds of others to help the journey of happiness for anyone willing to listen. My words will be my opinion, your words will be your opinion. There will be no contamination of judgment or controversy from one another here. These are stories told through poetry and emotion from one person to another. I hope you find wisdom in the words I speak, because I only share my words for the help of others. Today's topic on One Tier Nation, the fight. There's a line that we all draw in life for what's worth fighting for and what's not worth fighting for. And a lot of the time, what happened in our past will define the line we have drawn. It will dictate what we find worth fighting for, whether it's good or bad. And then there's where the first fight starts. Finding what's truly best for us in this world and fighting for it is the first fight. No matter our values, our self-pride, our judgment on this world, they don't deserve to rob us from the fight for our meaning. Our very own thoughts can be poison to this process, to our very own happiness. The way we were taught can misdirect us from our path of life. In my last video, I talked about control and how you always are in control. You decide your path, whether you'll fall into the masses or stand up and become what you've always wanted to be. For you to find your path, you have to take control, and you have to fight for it. Nothing in this world is worth having unless you have to fight for it. If you just got what you always wanted, where's the pleasure in that? Where's the meaning? Through those actions, your void will never be filled. You have to fight for what you want. And I'm not saying fight in a literal sense. I'm saying do everything you can for what you believe in. And in some situations, you may actually have to physically fight for your life, for your family's life, for friendship. Now, why in those situations do you choose to fight? Because you know that they aren't just going to hand you your family, your life, or your friendships for nothing. I mean, a robber isn't just going to hand you back your stuff. A murderer isn't just going to give you back your life. It's not what they do. It's the same thing with life. It's not just going to hand it to you. You gotta fight for it. And if you don't realize that, you're going to be sitting there hating the world for not cutting you a break and giving you what you want. Sadly, nothing in this life gets handed to you. But that's okay. Because even though you have to give blood, sweat, and tears, when you finally get what you wanted, you'll truly be able to appreciate it. And it'll be so much sweeter because you deserve it. You have to earn everything in this world, and nothing is easy in this world. So be prepared. Know what you can take and handle. Pick your fights. That's one of the most influential things I have ever heard, was pick your fights. Because you can't fight them all. I'm a fighter. I've always been a fighter. For the longest time I tried to take all the world's battles on my shoulders and fight them all. protecting what was beautiful, meaningful, caring, or even weak in this world is what I did. I knew I was a fighter from the beginning, and I knew I could take more than most people. So I put my efforts towards fighting for the world. And I still catch myself doing it. But my fight is for my loved ones, and most importantly, myself. And don't get me wrong, I love the world more than anything. I mean, there's more beauty in this world than people can even fathom. But you gotta fight for yourself, and it's not being selfish. You only can do as much as you can handle. And when you're at your best, you can handle the most. And we're all at our best when we fight for our paths in life and reach them. When you're happy, healthy, strong, and braver than can be, that's when you can help this world. Not when you're weak and putting every effort of strength you have left to fight. You gotta put all of it into it. And that's why you gotta fight. The fight is in you, so fight. But fight for the right things. Don't fight for a bad relationship. A girlfriend or a boyfriend that they treat you okay, but you may not see a future in it. You may just not feel as much as you did for them anymore. That's not something worth fighting for because you got comfortable with them or you're in the routine. Life isn't a routine. Life is about your meaning, about what you love, what you want to do. This isn't some social network TV show saying you have to marry that person. You gotta make it work so you look like the best person in the world or the best couple. Bad relationships happen all the time. Even misguiding idols. I mean, I've had plenty of idols in my life where their values didn't quite meet mine. I mean, they taught me a few things, don't get me wrong, but they only could teach me so much till it got to the point where they reached a point where they haven't gotten past their problems. Maybe something in your life has happened in their life and they haven't quite dealt with it yet. It's not something to fight for if it's not good for you. I mean, friendship. One of my favorite quotes is, "Why would you need a counselor when you have a good friend? Or a psychiatrist?" I mean, really? I mean, if you find a good friend and you're able to tell them everything about yourself, bare your darkest secrets, that's a good friend. And that is a relationship that is worth fighting for. You don't give that shit up. You don't throw it away. But there's stupid relationships, like a lot of relationships in high school that are trendy, or you're in a certain group, or they may like certain things with you, but you never fully got along with them. Yeah, you can still talk to them, but don't fight for a relationship that person's gonna backstab you in the end, or once high school's over, or once you change the type of music you listen to or the sport you play. The second you do that, they throw you out the door like trash. That is not something worth fighting for. Love, happiness, family. And you may not have the best family, so maybe in life you meet a father figure or a brother figure. That's something worth fighting for. It doesn't have to be literal family. But any sort of true love and friendship, love of a woman or a man, or maybe even a dog. If you love that dog or that cat, or maybe even a snake, things that are true in this world are worth fighting for. Unhealthy actions aren't. Why bathe yourself in drugs to get away from your problems when you can fight through them and get on your path and be happier than ever and be in a place that is just you never dreamed of having? That's something worth fighting for. Don't run, don't hide, fight. There's certain things, yes, in a literal sense, like, hey, you go to a dark alley and a robber's trying to rob you and he's much bigger than you and you physically can't defend yourself. Run. Live to fight another day, like they say in the movies. But in a whole sense of the world, there's certain things worth fighting for. Your dreams, your happiness, your love, your family, your protection, food, water, sustenance, things to keep you alive. But you gotta know when to pick your fights. This isn't a game of trying to be the richest man in the world, the prettiest woman, most powerful, have the biggest truck, look like you have the biggest dick or the biggest boobs. I mean, this isn't, it's not, there's not a battle between people. That's just not right. You shouldn't fight between people. Arguments, those are different. But when you're literally fighting them, arguing that you're better, that you're smarter, or you are correct, I mean, that draws issues beyond anything that the world ever asked on anybody. A flower fights to bloom every year. Why don't you fight to bloom every day, every second, every moment, every instant? You gotta fight. You gotta fight for your want. You gotta fight for your dreams. Because things aren't gonna get handed to you. I want to read you one of my poems from my Instagram page. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can go check it out. Don't ever stop motion, because with such motion allows great accomplishment, great ability, and great knowledge. A moment of rest is no emergency brake on motion. It is the gas pedal for your body's energy in motion. But if overindulgence of rest reaches a state of sloth, it will deconstruct your whole methodology of motivation and kill the chance of your great potential. And with such an action is the inclination of your personality destroying yourself. Even with the most pretentious, stubborn brains knows that it's a bad idea. But yet it happens so easily with all situations. If such a thing happens, that is the exact place where any motion is needed, so in time the ability of moving on is acquired. So for the development of life needs motion, and the only thing that is corrupting your motion is you. It's true. The only thing stopping you is you. My last video I said you're in control. In this video I'm saying you gotta fucking fight. Fight for what your heart says is good. Fight for what makes you happy. Don't lose motion in this world. Don't lose actions. Don't lose at something that's good for you. I mean, say you're playing a board game and you lose. It's okay. I mean, everybody loses once in a while, but they get back up and try it again. And that's what I want you to do with your life, with what you want to do with your life. I want you to fight. Fight for all of it, because what's worth it if you just get handed everything? You'll never be able to understand how good it feels when you finally get what you want. How can you appreciate a girl or a boy or a good relationship when you don't know what it's like to be alone? It's the same concept. It's the exact same thing. If you got everything you ever wanted in life, how will you ever appreciate it? You have to know what it's like to fight for it and earn it. Because when you get that, oh, that's just that sweet, sweet feeling of just feels so good. It's one of the best things in the world when you finally accomplish something you want. Graduate college. That's one of the big things. You don't even have to go to college. You can become an artist and paint. Let's say you want to create a portfolio of 100 different paintings of 100 different landscapes. And once you can't just print that out, you got to do it. And you do it right, and you feel good about it when you finish it. You can do anything in this world. You just have to fight for it. And I mean fight. Just know that it's all worth it once you finish. And it will be hard, and there will be days of complete annihilation of your mind, your body, your soul, your happiness. But once you fight long enough, you'll be on that path where all you have to deal with is small battles. And when you die, think about it. People look at you as an idol, thinking you fought every instance of your life for happiness, for you and others. And you can't forget that. Once you get on that path, once you just feel the ultimate greatness from accomplishing everything you want, that is when you're at your best, and that is when you can fight for others. You can give back. You can help your family. Let's say you want to become a doctor, and we all know doctors get paid a pretty good salary. Once you reach that and you have your own firm, or you work in the hospital in the emergency room, whatever goal it is, maybe you can give back with money, help somebody out, or even just giving free checkups on people, or do charity surgeries. You don't need to get paid every time you do it, because there's people fighting for everything. There's a little boy or a little girl out there with a bad heart or cancer, and they're fighting. And you're that doctor who fought to get in your situation. It's your time to give back and help them fight. Just know that. You're not just fighting for yourself, and that's why I say it's not selfish. If you fight for yourself and only yourself for the rest of your life, that's selfish. But if you fight for your life to get to that moment where you're at the best state and you don't fight for others, that's selfish. But when you get to that state and you fight for everyone, you fight for the world like I do, then it means everything was worth it. You were worth it. And always be yourself, because you're self will guide you to